Guys, Mr. Bowman here. Today's learning objective is in red, and we are learning to use Pythagoras Theory to calculate the long side of a given right angle triangle. So we know all about right angle triangles, and I suppose the new parts are Pythagoras Theory. We need to know about that, and we need to know about what I mean about the long side of the triangles. So the first thing to note, and I've got that diagram on the right hand side to get us going. If you have a square on the two short sides of the triangle, which is the A and the B, so A squared and B squared, that there will be equal to C squared. And that's where our formula comes from. So when we're talking about Pythagoras' theory, A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. A and B, if you have a look at the triangle, coming along vertically, going along horizontally, those are referred to as the short sides of the triangle, and the diagonal, also known as the hypotenuse, that there is referred to as the long side of the triangle. Today we're going to focus just on how to calculate those long sides. We do need to know how to calculate the short sides, and we'll have a look at that in a little bit as well. So we're going to get into some questions, and before we do that, I just want to give us a bit of a process to follow. This is fairly similar to trigonometry, so when we get into the trig stuff, this will become a lot, or you'll be a bit more confident with it. The first step is label your triangle. And when you're labeling the triangle, you're going to be labeling A, B, or C, depending on if it's the long sides or the short sides. Once you've done that, you're going to substitute into your formula, and don't forget that's A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. And then once you've done that substitution, you're going to solve. And once you've solved it, that will give you your final answer. That will help you figure out what your side of the triangle is. Okay, our first question has popped up. We're just going to follow our process. Step 1, label the sides of your triangles. So just a reminder, the two short sides, they join together to form the right angle. So they're going to be the A and the B sides of your triangle. So A and B, we've got there. The last one is the one opposite to the hypotenuse or the diagonal. It's going to be the C side of the triangle. So there we go. We've labeled our side. We're now going to get into our equation. So let's draw that down. So our equation, A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. We're now going to substitute everything in. So let's start off with the A squared, and up in our triangle, A is 5. So that there is going to become 5 squared. We're then going to substitute in our B. B is 12. That there is going to become 12 squared. And we're going to substitute in our unknown variable. In this case, our unknown variable is still C, so that's going to stay C squared. We're now going to use our BEDMAS just to calculate this. We'll probably evaluate the left-hand side first. That's going to be 25 plus 144 is going to be equal to C squared. That there comes to 169 is equal to C squared. We're then going to take the square over to the other side, and we do that by square rooting everything. So the square root of C squared is equal to the square root of 169. The square root of 169 is 13, and the square root of C squared is C. So what that means is C is 13 units long, whatever that might be. It might be meters, centimeters, millimeters, kilometers, who knows. But there we go, there's our answer. So that's our first question. Let's have a look into one more. This time around, I'm going to draw the triangle. I'm going to make up the numbers just to make sure we have some awkward numbers to deal with. Because just a reminder, we had a whole number here, not always going to be nice like that. So let's say this side of the triangle is 9 centimeters long. This here is 8 centimeters long. Let's try to find out how long X is. First step, label the sides of your triangle. So we've got A over here, and we've got B over here, leaving opposite the hypotenuse, the long side must be that X. So we're at C over here. We're going to jot down our formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. We're then going to substitute in. So A is equal to 9 squared, which is going to be, so 9 squared. B is 8, so that's going to be 8 squared. That there is going to be equal to x squared. So we've taken out the c, put in the x here as well. We now evaluate. That's going to become 81 plus 64 equals x squared. That there is going to be 145 is equal to x squared. We're then going to square root that. So the square root of 145 is equal to x. And when you put that in the calculator, you're going to get 12.04. I'm going to write in my units, centimeters, and I've rounded that to 2 decimal places. So short video. Hopefully it all makes sense. Key things is, hopefully you understand the formula. Hopefully you know what the long side and the short side of the triangle is. Hopefully you can label your sides. Hopefully you can substitute. Once you've done that, you can use your algebra to go ahead and solve. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Now let's get into heaps of practice. Also, hopefully you saw Hypno. Hypno helped out before by getting that question up there for us.